Did you know the first 30 minutes after you wake up can spike your blood sugar even before you've eaten a single bite? If you wake up tired, foggy, or already craving food, this is often where the problem starts. Before we dive in, if you regularly wake up feeling exhausted or see high blood sugar numbers before breakfast, hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about tackling morning blood sugar, fasting glucose, and the hidden reasons so many people feel drained the moment they open their eyes. Most people think blood sugar problems are all about sugar or what you eat for breakfast. But for many adults over 45, blood sugar spikes begin the second they wake up, even when their A1C looks perfectly normal. Let's break down the 5 biggest mistakes that cause this. First is the cortisol surge that most people don't control. The moment you wake up, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. This is your body's natural alarm clock, designed to help you feel alert and energized. It's called the cortisol awakening response. But here's the catch. Cortisol tells your liver to release glucose into your bloodstream to fuel your brain and muscles. In a healthy body, this rise is brief and well managed. However, in adults with even mild insulin resistance, this cortisol surge can send blood sugars soaring to high and for too long. This is why you might see a high morning blood sugar reading even after fasting all night. It's not about the food you ate, it's about your hormones. Now, here's how most people accidentally make it worse. The second mistake is adding mental stress on top of that natural cortisol spike. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? If it's checking your phone, reading work emails, watching the news, or worrying about your to-do list, you're triggering more cortisol. Your brain does undistinguish between the stress of a deadline and the stress of a real physical threat. So when you pile on mental stress right after waking, you amplify that morning blood sugar spike. This is a huge reason why some people feel tired even after a full night's sleep. Their nervous system is already in a state of high alert. Third mistake is an automatic habit that sabotages your fasting glucose, doing nothing but sitting still. When cortisol raises your blood sugar, your muscles are supposed to be the primary destination for that extra glucose. But your muscles need to move to absorb it efficiently. If you just wake up, stand still, or immediately sit down, that glucose has nowhere to go and stays circulating in your bloodstream. This contributes to high fasting glucose readings and that heavy, sluggish feeling. You don't need a full-blown workout, but complete stillness is working against you. Mistake number 4 is dehydration. After sleeping for 6 to 8 hours, you are naturally dehydrated. This makes your blood more concentrated, which can make your glucose readings appear higher than they actually are. But it's more than just a measurement issue. Dehydration itself is a form of physical stress on the body. And what does stress do? It raises cortisol, which then raises blood sugar. Simply skipping a glass of water in the first 30 minutes after waking is one of the most overlooked reasons for high morning blood sugar. Finally, the 5th mistake is drinking caffeine too early. For many people who wake up tired, coffee is the first thing they reach for. But caffeine also stimulates cortisol release. When you drink coffee immediately after waking, especially on an empty stomach, you're stacking a caffeine-induced cortisol spike right on top of your natural morning cortisol surge. For anyone with insulin resistance, this combination can cause a dramatic and prolonged blood sugar spike. It doesn't mean you have to give up coffee, but timing is everything. So, to recap, it's not always about your diet. The combination of uncontrolled cortisol, morning stress, lack of movement, dehydration, and poorly timed caffeine can create the perfect storm for high morning blood sugar. By understanding these hormonal triggers, you can start your day with more energy and better balance. States. Ever wonder why you wake up exhausted, even after a full night's sleep? It might have less to do with how long you slept, and more to do with what happens the moment you open your eyes. Let's talk about a silent signal your body might be sending you. Danger. When you wake up, your body expects some gentle movement. This is wired into our biology from thousands of years of evolution. But what happens when we don't move? Our nervous system stays on high alert, in a defensive mode. Cortisol, the stress hormone, stays elevated. Our insulin sensitivity remains low. This is a direct recipe for high morning blood sugar and that familiar feeling of being tired from the second you get out of bed. The fix is surprisingly simple. Just 3 to 5 minutes of light movement, a short walk, some stretching, or slow mobility exercises can signal to your muscles to start absorbing glucose and tell your stress hormones to chill out. Now, many of you might be thinking, but my doctor says my A1C is normal. And yet, you're still dragging yourself through the morning. This is a common and confusing situation. The problem is that A1C is just an average plateau. It doesn't show the daily roller coaster, especially those sneaky spikes that happen first thing in the morning. You can have a normal A1C, normal blood sugar throughout the day, and still have consistently high blood sugar right before breakfast. These morning spikes are often the very first sign of metabolic dysfunction. They drain your energy, wreck your sleep quality, and build up insulin resistance over time. Waking up tired is often a blood sugar issue, long before anyone even mentions the word diabetes. Think of it like a snowball effect, all starting within the first 30 minutes of your day. When your morning blood sugar is high, a cascade of events follows. Your hunger kicks in earlier. Cravings for carbs and sugar become more intense. You're set up for an energy crash later in the day. Your ability to handle stress plummets, and your body is primed to store fat. All of this happens before you've even had a bite to eat. This is why mastering the first 30 minutes after you wake up is far more crucial than just obsessing over your breakfast. So, what are the common mistakes we all make? Let's recap. First, letting stressful thoughts take over the moment you wake up. Second, grabbing your phone and scrolling through news or social media. Third, skipping hydration and not drinking water. Fourth, drinking coffee too early, before you've hydrated. Fifth, not getting in that light movement we talked about. And finally, just sitting still for too long. Notice that none of these involve food, yet every single one can significantly raise your morning blood sugar. When you see a high blood sugar reading before breakfast, don't look at it as a failure. It's feedback. It's your body telling you something important. It's saying, I'm under stress, my insulin sensitivity is down, and my hormones need some attention. If you ignore these signals, you could face years of unexplained fatigue and confusion. But if you understand them, you gain the power to take back control. Unfortunately, this pattern is often missed in a typical doctor's visit. Most appointments focus on your A1C and fasting lab results, which are taken just once or twice a year. Doctors rarely ask about the context. They don't ask, how do you feel when you wake up? Are you tired immediately? Do you feel anxious or foggy? Morning blood sugar patterns need that context to be understood properly. They're more than just numbers on a lab report. But here's the fantastic news. The first 30 minutes of your day are incredibly flexible and easy to adjust. All simple changes can lead to huge results. We're talking lower fasting glucose, better all-day energy, improved insulin sensitivity, less fatigue, and even better long-term sleep. This is why putting your focus on the morning is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health. Morning blood sugar is where metabolic problems often begin, but it's also where they can be fixed the earliest. If you wake up tired, see high numbers on your glucose meter before breakfast, or feel lost because your A1C is normal, you are definitely not alone. This channel is here to explain the things most people are never told. The first half hour of your day is not neutral. It either sets your metabolism up for a calm, stable day, or it pushes your blood sugar higher. Stress, cortisol, and our automatic morning habits silently dictate your fasting glucose every single day. Once you grasp this, you can stop blaming food for everything and start fixing the real root causes. This video helped you understand why you wake up tired or why your morning blood sugar is high. Subscribe to our channel. Everything we share is designed to help you regain your energy, your mental clarity, and your sense of control, starting with the morning. Thanks for watching.